Hi, my name's Kayla. Thanks for downloading the video. This is just a short floor routine that can be done pretty much anywhere. So if you've got a mat, that's great. But if you're having one of those days, you can just do it in your bed as well. And you don't need anything else, but if you do have a strap or just a scarf and a blanket or a jumper, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start lying on our backs. And this is where your jumper or your blanket can come in if you need it, if you're a bit chilly. And just put your left hand on your belly and your right hand over your heart. And let your feet fall to the side. And let your shoulders melt into the floor. And just take a moment to connect with your breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And just notice how your body feels in this moment. Is it stiff or sore or tired? Or do you feel pretty good? Either way, it's okay. Just notice. And now draw your attention to the breath. Breathing in through the nostrils and feeling the breath travel all the way to your left hand in your belly. And exhaling, sending that air back into the universe. I'm just going to move the blanket aside and just curl up your legs and give yourself a little hug, maybe rocking from side to side or making circles, giving your lower back a little massage. Maybe switching directions if that feels good, or just staying still. And now we're going to move the left ankle to just below the right knee, and then grabbing beneath the right knee. And just pull back, and you should feel a nice big stretch in your left hips. Again, maybe rocking from side to side if that feels good, or just staying still. And throughout this whole practice, we're going to stay connected to our breath. So no matter what the pose, always notice the inhaling and the exhaling. If this is too intense, you can always place your right foot on the floor, like that. Or if it's not intense enough, you can create a little resistance by pushing back with the left ankle and leg. And on your next exhale, slowly release the feet to the floor. And we're going to switch sides, so moving the right foot to just below the left knee and reaching through. Again, feeling the nice stretch through your hips. And again, rocking from side to side. And keep your right foot flexed because that will protect your knee. And try with every exhale maybe to bring the ankle a little closer to you by just pulling gently on the left leg. As you exhale, release both legs. And then keeping the right foot on the floor, you're going to take the strap or scarf if you have one, or if not, just use your hands. And you're going to loop it around the left foot just below the toes and extend your leg sort of straight up. So it can be straight up like this or out like that, whatever feels better. Take as much bend if you need to if it's straight up. And you're not pulling down on the strap, you're just gently guiding the foot to where it needs to be. Inhale, try to lengthen through the leg a bit, and exhale, move the leg a little closer to your belly. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, moving slightly closer. And in this stretch, you always want to keep your quadriceps engaged, and that will help to open the back of your leg. Take one last inhale, and exhaling, releasing the foot back to the ground. Let's switch sides, looping the strap or scarf around, or just raising the leg. And again, finding the spot that feels good for you, whether that's all the way out here, or straight up and a little bent, or straight up and straight if you're more flexible than I am. And again, engaging the quadriceps. And then inhale, finding length, and exhale, bending a little bit closer to the belly. Take one last inhale to find length, and exhale, slowly release the foot, putting the strap aside. And now slowly, let's roll onto the right side, and take a couple of breaths here, just in a fetus position. And then slowly, slowly push down with your left hand and come up to a seated position, moving very slowly when you're transitioning from lying to seated. And come to a comfortable cross-legged position. And let's just take a few breaths here, palms facing up, just to readjust to our new height in the world. And notice if your breath feels any different sitting up than it did lying down. And then on the next inhale, lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, put your left arm behind your torso and your right arm on your left knee, and find a small twist through the spine. So you're looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, you're lengthening up through the spine, and exhale, finding a twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Take a nice deep inhale, finding length. And one last exhale. And on the next inhale, come back to center and take a breath here. And then we're going to inhale again, finding length. Exhale, placing the right hand behind you, the left hand on the right knee, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, finding length, and exhale, twisting, opening up the spine. If you do a lot of sitting or lying during the day and you're not very active, this is a great pose to invigorate the spine and improve the health of your back. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, twisting. And on the next inhale, returning to center. And again, just taking a nice breath here, resting. Putting the soles of the feet together as close to the hips as possible. You might need to move the flesh of your bum away a bit to find that sweet spot where you're sitting nice and tall. And then hold onto your feet and open them up like you're reading a book. And then inhale, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, slowly bend slightly forward from the hips. And if you feel a burning sensation in your inner hips, you've gone a bit too far, so maybe come back up a bit, or maybe inch your feet a little bit farther away from the hips. So inhale, finding length in the spine, and exhale, folding forwards. Try not to let your shoulders run forward in this pose. Try and keep a nice straight spine. Inhaling, lengthen through the crown of the head, and exhale, fold a little forward. Next inhalation, come all the way back up. Move your feet forward a few inches. Keep them nice and open. And we're going to do another passive fold. So this time, let the spine completely round. Let the head drop towards the feet. And just feel the stretch in your hips. If you want to feel a bit more of a stretch, you can use the elbows and the forearms to push down a bit, bringing the knees and the hips a bit closer to the floor. Again, on the next inhale, coming back up to seated. Now, if you're near a wall, we're going to move towards the wall. If not, you can use a chair for this. So just shift over towards the wall, and we're going to do a little inversion. So place the feet up on the wall, straight or slightly bent, whatever feels better for you. And we're going to place the left hand on the torso and the right hand on the heart. Inversions are a great way to reset the nervous system. And let's start to reconnect with the breath like we did at the start of the practice. So inhale through the nose and follow the breath all the way to your left hand in your belly. And then exhale, sending all that air back out into the universe. And try to find a sense of stillness in this pose. Find a place where you're comfortable, where you don't need to wiggle around. just send your breath to any parts of the body that feel stiff or sore. Just imagine as you breathe in that the breath goes directly to those parts. And as you exhale, with the breath goes all the pain and fatigue. Now slowly lower the legs down from the wall and shuffle back to lie normally on your mat. And we're going to do one more spinal twist, so making a T with your arms. Let the legs fall over to the right and look over your shoulder to the left. And just release any tension in your spine. And then slowly bring the knees back up and shift to twist on the other side. If this is too intense for the neck, just look straight up, leaving this neck neutral. And just keep taking those nice big deep breaths all the way into your belly. Good, and bring the legs back to the center and then straight out in front of you, letting the legs flop open. And this is when you can bring back the blanket or your jumper. And we're going to end here in Savasana, corpse pose. So let your arms fall by your side, palms facing up, feet flopping out to the side. This pose is completely passive, so just sink into the earth. Let the earth support you. Just let your shoulders and your back and your hips and your legs melt into the ground or the bed or the mat below you. Take a nice big inhale. And a releasing exhale. Thanking yourself for taking the time to do this practice today. For taking the time to do something for you. And thanking your body for allowing you to complete this practice. If you feel any tension or pain anywhere in the body, send your breath there. So inhale and imagine breathing into your shoulders or your hips or your back, wherever there's tension or pain or numbness. And then exhale, imagine sending all that pain and fatigue out with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing. And just do that a few more times to anywhere in the body where you're noticing any discomfort. And also just let your body know that it's okay to be feeling that pain, and it's okay to be feeling that discomfort. That's where you are today, and that's okay. And now let's refocus on those deep belly breaths. Inhaling through the nose and following the breath all the way through your throat and your chest into your belly. And notice how it feels when your belly expands and then contracts as you send the air back out. And then notice the way your body feels on the floor. And does it feel any different to when you started the practice? Maybe better, maybe worse, maybe the same? And whichever way it is, that's okay. And then slowly, let's roll onto the right side and take a couple nourishing breaths here. And then gently again, coming back to seated or staying lying if you're gonna stay lying for now. And just bring your hands to prayer in front of the heart and take a couple deep breaths. And thank you all so much for joining me in this practice today. And let your breath guide you throughout the rest of the day, anything that you have to do. Stay focused with your breath. Namaste.